Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to stand, remove your hats, and join us in prayer prior to the playing of the national anthem. Please bow your heads. Dear God, help us play to the best of our abilities and to show good sportsmanship. Please let us be respectful and to remember it is just a game. Allow the players to be safe, to be fair, and to have fun. We give thanks for the coaches, referees, and families for their support and time. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And now the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to Fork Union Military Academy, where your St. Christopher Saints will take on Fork Union. Fork Union will be kicking off here to start the game. Hendrick will, looks like Andre Green will return it. Tackled down around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, it's really windy up here, just in case it's hard for y'all to hear. Sorry about that.
Best we can do. So it'll be Griffin O'Farrell, the junior quarterback, starting out for the Saints. We've seen O'Farrell and Williamson interchangeably throughout the season. Looks like Clellan will start off with O'Farrell.
Yeah, I think O'Farrell started all games so far, and then they've put in Williamson, later in the game for his arm.
He'll take the snap now, roll out left, and tackle down around the line of scrimmage.
Fork Union is really going to have to make sure their defense is on the move, as O'Farrell is a shifty runner, so they will have to be looking out for O'Farrell as a runner and a passer.
He's got great get-off speed, great acceleration. We'll see him in the pocket, and then he'll step up and take off and can go for 40, 50 yards sometimes.
Fork Union's bringing the blitz.
Snap to O'Farrell, he'll roll out right, and here he goes. He'll tuck this one away. And this is where O'Farrell's dangerous. Great block from Will Taswell on the edge there.
The Saints wide receivers really do a great job blocking for O'Farrell, as they know that he can take off at any time. I mean, there's just an example right there, as Fork Union wasn't able to bring him down after about a gain of 20.
So forward wide receiver set now for the Saints. Hendrick in the backfield. O'Farrell roll out left. Great blitz pickup from Hendrick, but overthrown, intended for Nigel Green.
That was on target. Nigel Green would have been walking into the end zone for 6, but unfortunately that was a little underthrown, as O'Farrell's arm is not up to par as Williamson. I mean, Williamson's arm. He had a throw last week to Nigel Green for about 40 yards. That was just unbelievable, and it was a spectacular play.
And whistle before the snap here. Going to reset the shot clock, or the play clock rather. And meanwhile, the Saints will sub Terry for Wallace. No longer in the trips formation, they'll have Terry at tight end. He'll come across, pick up a block for Hendrick, who bounces it out left. Able to get out 1 or 2 there. Met around the line of scrimmage by a couple of FUMA defenders.
Saints running game really was able to get it going on the outside last week against Bishop O'Connell. They didn't really get that much on the inside, but they had receivers and tight ends blocking on the outside, so they got a lot more yardage than they did on the inside. So let's see if they do that here today as well.
Here comes O'Farrell. He'll step back, shotgun now. Second in the pocket. Run for this now, 2 yards short of the first down.
What I really liked about that play was that O'Farrell was looking to pass. He didn't immediately start running. He was looking for the receivers, especially Green on that left sideline. But then when Green was covered, he just took off with his legs. So the pass was his first option.
Flag down on the play now. Saints went for it on 4th and 3. It'll be a false start, so that'll push them back 5. 4th and 8 now. And I believe the Saints are going to punt now.
And not a good play for the Saints as they are going to go for it. Now they are forced to punt. As Sewers has had a strong lead all season punting. He's missed a couple field goals, but his punts have been on par.
Punt from Sewers is away. Lands around the 30. Will be down at the 26-yard line.
The flag is thrown near the right sideline. It's going to be a sideline warning on FUMA. We will get a first look at the Saints defense today. The Saints defense has been led by Jeff Moore all season. If you haven't watched 100 Yards with Jeff Moore by Liam Nolan, you should watch it. It's a great show.
You said 100 Yards about Liam Nolan.
No, I said with Jeff Moore by Liam Nolan.
So nothing there for FUMA. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. Alex Williams, quarterback for FUMA, comes in with play.
As we see, receiver number 11 for FUMA is Montego Moss. That is the son of Randy Moss. Interesting fact of the day right there.
So 3rd and 13 now. FUMA's look downfield. Pass complete to Montego Moss. Tackled by Hendrick around the 37-yard line.
That was a hard tackle by Hendrick.
And it will get the first down, so FUMA converts on 3rd and long.
That was a great play by Moss to hold on to that ball as Hendrick just came in with a big hit.
So they'll keep it now. This is Williams, and pretty big gain here. Good for about 25. And just absolutely stiff-armed Matt Grant at the end there. Just threw him out of bounds. And Alex Williams is a pretty big quarterback. He's listed at 6'5", 181, which 6'5" for any quarterback is pretty decent size, and he just demonstrated that by throwing Matt Grant off the field.
Yeah, he fooled everybody with that fake handoff. I mean, all the linebackers, you know, Forrest and Hendrick both went for the running back, but Williams went the other way.
I think we'll see the read option multiple times today. It's really hard in the linebacker core. And that ball was thrown behind, but it looks like their whistle is dead. That was an attempted screen pass to Steve Zegby, but it was absolutely thrown behind him. It should have been a fumble is what St. Chris coaches are arguing, but looks like their call, it was tipped by Sullivan on the edge.
Yeah, I think that's what the ref saw.
Though it wasn't. Williams will hand it off now to Hampton. He's brought down about 6. Tackling by Hayden Forrest.
The center line for FUMA is doing a really good job of blocking the D lineman and then go ahead and blocking the linebackers to make space for the running backs. As the linebackers, Jeff Moore, Forrest, and Hendrick are having a hard time bringing down these running backs.
Williams will roll out right now. And nice hit there from Mina Valleja. Looks like Montego Moss was on the block, but missed a Valleja.
Didn't do much blocking on that play.
So 4th and about 4, FUMA will go for it. Williams takes a snap, throws over the middle, Montego Moss bobbles it, catches it, stays in bounds up the middle, and that'll be a touchdown by FUMA. Nice throw and catch from Alex Williams to the son of Randy Moss. That's Montego Moss, the reception on the slant route. Bobbled it originally, but able to haul it in for a touchdown. FUMA 6, Saints 0.
Yeah, that was great concentration by Moss. The pass was thrown a little bit behind him, and then he was hit, but he still kept his eye on the ball, and he hauled it in, and then he eventually ran it in for 6. That was a great play by Moss.
And the extra point is no good. Shanked left by Hadley White.
It's going to be interesting to see how the wind here affects the kicking game today.
Seldom do we see the Saints go down early, rather go down at all. So this should be interesting to see how they respond, because they just beat Bishop O'Connell 35-0 last week, and FUMA's already doing better than that 6 minutes into the game here.
Yeah, the Saints have had very dominant wins the last 3 games. They've never been down, and so it's really interesting to see that FUMA came out firing and the Saints couldn't stop it.
This is Cabanas from the end zone. He'll bring it up to around the 16.
Cabanas babbled that catch and was only about to gain about 10 yards on that play. So let's see what the Saints are able to do here on their second offensive drive of the game, as they started off pretty high, but couldn't convert, or excuse me, they got a penalty which forced them to punt. So let's see what they do here.
I formation for the Saints. They'll hand it off to Forrest now. And he's able to get a couple there. That was a big hit from Grant Chevrier, head-to-head contact rather. And Forrest is grabbing at his head. Looks like he's gonna come out. Might have just swung his helmet around. Looks like what it was. I think he's all right. But that was head-to-head contact on Forrest. We heard it from here.
Yeah.
And I believe that actually just rung his bell.
He was slow to get up.
Trainer Robin Eldridge now. So they'll hand it off to Hendrick now. He'll get about 3. So 2 successive runs from the Saints here now. It'll be 3rd and short. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 5 on their own 22-yard line. It's kind of hard to pass it and going into the wind, so I think that's why they've mostly kept it on the ground, but looks like the run game hasn't been much of an option for them too, as it is very windy up here.
O'Farrell will roll out left, looking. He'll tuck it and run, and looks like he might have been able to get the first down.
they're
They'll
gonna
mark him out of bounds,
yeah.
2 yards shy, but he did extend the ball. That's a terrible spot for the referees. You ready? So it'll be 4th down now, 4th and 2. Saints will punt. It'll be out of bounds at the 49-yard line, 50-yard line. That's another bad spot. So FUMA will start off with great field position at the 50. No thanks to the referees.
That ball landed at the 45.
Steve Zegby comes in motion and gets the handoff here. He's able to get around 3 before he was met by Mina Valea, the senior DB. And we're already hearing a few chirps from the St. Christopher's parents about number 11 on FUMA. That's Montego Moss.
Yeah, I'm sure they did their research, as the Saints' parents are competitive. They like football a lot.
And they'll throw over the middle now. Pass is complete. That's Kavanis and Hendrick there on the tackle. Pass was hogged in by Zegby.
FUMA is really doing a great job with these short pass and run plays. They're not getting very much yardage, but they're getting just enough on 3rd down so they can convert, and they're not really doing many big plays. And I think that's the key for them today.
3rd and 2 for FUMA now. Williams takes a snap. Nice blitz from Hayden Forrest, but it's picked up. And then eventually Zegby is brought down in the backfield. That's Hank Filer on the sack, but there is a penalty. Huh?
Yeah, it is Hank Filer's birthday today, so that was a birthday sack for him.
Do have a flag down in the field. It was a big sack, about a 10-yard sack by Hank Filer, so could have been holding. Looks like it is. But Saints are going to decline that penalty, of course. So it'll be 4th and very long now, and FUMA will punt.
Hey, Coach Dre up right now. Scott, Coach Dre up. Right, make sure Dre's good, Scott. Man.
It's going to be 4th and about 14 for FUMA. As Moss is back to kick.
Andre Green is back for the Saints. Punt from Moss. Nice spiral
That
on
was a
that
good
punt
punt.
over Andre Green's head and out of bounds inside the 15.
Guy can do it all.
Very impressive spiral on that punt.
It was.
So 4 wide receivers set now for the Saints. Kavanis in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Kavanis with the middle. Met immediately, but spinning around. That's Xavier White there initially for FUMA.
Yeah, White was just waiting for him in that hole. I mean, he was unblocked, and Cavanis ran right into him.
Looked like it was man coverage from FUMA.
Yeah, they put 3 over 2. Two down here. So they switched it up.
Fair will throw over the middle to Andre Green behind him, and a low hit. It was a low hit from Grant Chevrier, but Green gets up immediately.
Yeah, that was a tough hit for Green as he came out from under him.
It was a post route by Green. Got a 10-yard post, and ball was behind him. Green leapt up in the air, but got hit low by FUMA safety Chevrier. It'll be a screen to Cavanis now. They'll bring it up to around the 28. Good enough for a Saints first down.
That was a great play by the Saints as everyone else was about 10 yards out, and then Cavanis just popped up for a little screen. That was good enough for about 12 yards.
Farrell will throw out quickly to Terry. And Terry's able to get 15.
Great blocking by Nigel Green to allow Terry to get 5 to 7 more yards on that play.
Go.
Saints are going to do hurry up offense here.
And hand it up the middle to Forrest. Hand it off to Forrest again. He's met immediately by the middle linebacker there. That's Xavier White from FUMA.
It's the Saints running game. I mean, the blocking up front. Seems like the Saints are missing their blocks on White, as that's the second or third time he's been there immediately to meet the running back.
So Forrest will remain in at running back. 3rd and 3 now for the Saints. Fair will roll out right. Nice block from Forrest. Pass intended for Tazwell is out of bounds. So it'll be 4th and 3 from FUMA's 48-yard line. We'll see what the Saints do here.
Yeah, the Saints, I mean, that was a good play designed for the Saints, but the pass just wasn't there. As the Saints really haven't gotten anything going in the air lately. It's just about under a minute to go in the first quarter.
So the Seawers will punt for the 3rd time today.
That was a good spiral as well.
And that will be down inside the 5-yard line. Great punt from Jack Seawers. And it was down by, looks like Pete Bell. Cole McCoy.
Saints defense is really going to have a good opportunity here to maybe get a safety.
Joe Sullivan is there for the stop.
Sullivan is a very, very good pass rusher and run stopper. He's great on the edge. He's a handful for the O-line to deal with. I mean, he's got quick hands and he's got great speed.
So 2nd and 10 from still inside their 5, and he's brought down in the end zone. Looks like he was actually stripped by Nikos Cavanis. and it will be a touchdown. Nikos Kavanas rushed the passer from the left side and strip sack on Alex Williams, recovers it himself, nearly just took it out of his hand, rather, and that'll be a Saints touchdown.
Williams didn't even see him coming as he came from the left, and Kavanis just took that ball right from him. And that was a great play for the Saints. I was talking about how they might get a safety, but I mean, should have said touchdown.
So Sears will be there for the PAT now. Give St. Chris the lead. PAT from Sears is good, so Saints 7, FUMA 6. So back for FUMA will be Elijah Hawks, who's from Richmond, as well as Montego Moss.
See if the Saints can carry their energy on the offense to the defense. See if we can get some stops.
So Hawks will field at the 1. Up the middle, brought down around the 19.
It's good for about a 19-yard return.
So we go off the middle now, brought down by Hayden Forrest. That's Vijon Hamilton.
He barely slipped away from Hendrick as Hendrick got a hold of his thighs, but he couldn't hold on. That will be the end of the first quarter as the Saints lead Fork Union 7-6. And we'll be right back with you for the start of the second. We are back with you all, and I have some stats for you. As the Saints had 77 yards total offense, and FUMA had 67. Griffith Farrell led the Saints in rushing with 31 yards, and he also led Saints in passing, he was 3 for 6 for 28 yards.
Williams airs this one downfield, intended for Hawks, but it's broken up by Matt Grant. Recovered well on that one.
Yeah, Grant is a terrific safety for the Saints. It's really hard for receivers to get past him, as he is very athletic, also a star basketball player, so we'll also get to see him in the winter.
Pass over the middle intended for Montego Moss is dropped, and Matt Grant was almost able to come up with it.
It landed right in his hands. He just wasn't ready for it.
Once they clear like the 35.
So 4th down, and FUMA's gonna have to punt here. It'll be Montego Moss. And a very high but shallow punt. Rather short. And it's down to the 35-yard line. So Saints with great field position already.
Williamson is now in for the Saints. So Farrell will get a rest.
Seems to be a false start on Andre Green.
Why is he even moving? Just tell him to look at the damn ball.
So 1st and 15 after the false start. This is Williamson in now. He'll air it out deep. Almost intercepted. Pass is intended for Andre Green, but overthrown.
Yeah, that was, I mean, if that ball was placed perfectly, Grant would have had a chance to go up and get that, which he usually almost wins. But that was just a little bit overthrown by Williamson.
So 2nd and 15 now. Hendricks in the backfield for the Saints.
FUMA's bringing the blitz.
It'll be a slip screen to Hendrick, but it's broken up.
Touchdown.
Carter Crawford on the break up. So 3rd and 15 now. Saints have only gone backwards thus far. They're not far from Jack Sears' field goal range.
Yeah, Hendrick, I mean, if he hauled in that pass, he would have taken that in for 6. I mean, he literally had one FUMA defender in his way with about 5 blockers.
Williamson will drop back again. Throws over the middle. Pass intended for Tazwell was almost complete. He had one hand on it and couldn't bring it in. So quick 3 and out for the Saints and off the punt.
Yeah, Tazwell, he's had a lot of great catches this year, one-handed, but he just couldn't haul that one in, as his other hand looked like it was might being a little held, but we'll see.
It's a short punt from Sears. It'll roll out of bounds around the 22, so 18-yard punt from Jack Sears. Williams will throw. Pass intended for Hawks is over his head.
Yeah,
Matt Grant was there on the coverage.
He threw that in about triple coverage as Grant, Kavanis, and Hendrick were all in the area of Hawk. That was a dangerous pass as Grant couldn't quite get a hand on it as that was a bit overthrown.
Williams drops back. Hill's going to air it downfield to Hawks and hit him in the hands, but unable to bring it in. Great throw from Alex Williams. That was Brooks Council and Mina Valle on the coverage, but looks like Hawks had a step on both of them.
Yeah, Hawks beat them both off the start. I mean, Valle has great speed and Council is becoming a great safety, but he just had the speed that Avail and Council didn't, and that was a great pass, but he just couldn't bring it in.
So 3rd and 10 now for Fork Union. Williams going to air it out deep to Montego Moss, who brings it in with one hand. He beats Damgard, and Damgard's unable to make the tackle. Montego Moss into the end zone yet again in the first half. Saints have no answers for Montego Moss.
And that was a ridiculous catch. I mean, he beat Damgard straight off that line as he just had a little jab step, and then he was off to the races. And that was a perfectly placed ball. Moss just stuck out one hand and hauled it in. You know, Damgard wasn't able to bring him down as he just ran to the end zone for 6.
There's no doubt that the Moss genetics are evident in Montego Moss.
Yeah, he's looking like his dad.
So the PAT is good from Hadley White. So FUMA up now 13-7 over the Saints. And this has been unexpected.
It has. The Saints are down. They're not used to this. I mean, they've been up all their games. So let's see how they respond to this. Let's see if they build their confidence or they lose it. I think the Saints are going to keep their poise and come back. I don't think they're going to be too startled by this.
So Fork Union will kick off now. Back for the Saints is Andre Green and Nikos Kavanis. Kavanis will bobble it at the 15. He has to fall on it, but still not terrible position. He'll garner it at the 22-yard line.
That's the second muffed punt, or excuse me, kickoff he's had today. So I don't understand what's the deal with these dropped catches.
Another slip screen now to Hendrick. Pass is completed, and Hendrick's got a lot of room to work here. Elijah Hawks is chasing him down, and he will bring down Hendricks around the 18 or 17. That was an impressive run there from Hendrick. He is caught by Elijah Hawks, but huge gain for the Saints.
That was exactly the same play that they ran in the first quarter as they threw it, or they dumped it off to Hendricks, and he wasn't able to catch it, and could have gone for 6, but I mean, they just ran that exact same play, and he went for about 70 yards on that play.
So Saints now in the red zone. Forrest in it running back. They'll give Hendrick a breather. Forrest will throw out, Williamson will throw out right to Wallace.
That's going to be a late hit, I believe.
And the late flag comes in. Looks like it's going to be unnecessary roughness from Grant Chevrier, who had the low hit on Andre Green in the first quarter. So that'll be half the distance to the goal after a late hit from Grant Chevrier. So Saints with great field position. See if they can capitalize. Andre Green is outright with Tazwell. Williams will throw into the end zone for Nigel Green, and it's intercepted. Steve Zegby picked it off. Nigel Green, looks like it was going to be a fade route for Nigel Green, but he tripped off his route, and Zegby's there for just an easy catch.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, as Green would have had a chance to go up for that thing, but unfortunately he slipped, and that just picked off.
Williams will hand this off to Hampton. He's swallowed up quickly. Caleb Bay there for the stop.
And the Saints D-line is doing a great job pressuring the quarterback and stopping the rush as Caleb Bay fills up the running holes, and Sullivan and Filer are good pass rushers.
So they now have a valet on Montego Moss. They're going to try him now. And almost hauled in, but nice coverage there from Mina Valet, able to break it up at the last second. That was Williams to Moss. Another long shot.
And Moss is upset with himself that he didn't catch that one, but Valet was covering him pretty well.
And FUMA likes the deep ball, but I don't see why they wouldn't. Alex Williams has a great arm and is able to, with precision and accuracy, just lay it in front of his receiver. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and Moss is beating the DBs off the line of scrimmage, so he's usually able to get some pretty good separation.
Three receivers out left, and again, Montego Moss by himself. Williams is going to throw over the middle, and it's intercepted by Brooks Council. And a way underthrown ball, and Council has to dive on the ground to grab that one. There is a flag in the backfield. Could potentially be roughing the passer. We see Alex Williams in the backfield. He's clearly injured. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, the Saints defense will be coming back onto the field.
So the interception will be called back. after a roughing the passer penalty on the Saints. So an undisciplined mistake.
Hey, you gotta do this. Hey, hey, bubble screen. They will not set. They will not set.
This will be a quick screen pass out to Hampton. He's able to get about 5 there. Brought down by Council.
Yeah, that's really disappointing for the Saints, as they would start with good field position with that interception, but it looked like a late hit cost them that interception and the possession of the ball.
Yeah, we got spread.
Williams steps back, airs it across the middle to Hawks. Over his head and tipped by Matt Grant.
Yeah, Mac has been in the position to have about 2 to 3 interceptions this game, but hasn't been able to haul in any of them.
Williams in the check down to Hampton now. Jukes Moore, and eventually brought down by defensive tackle Caleb Bay at around the 47. They'll mark him down at the 46.
Yeah, that was a great play by Hampton, as it's very unusual that Moore gets juked out, but he did just right there. As it'll now be 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line.
11 and 6 up there, same side.
Williams is going to air it out now to Hegby, and he hauls it in. 40-yard pass from Williams to Zegby. Mean of LA on the coverage got burned. So it's the 3rd deep ball we've seen today. The Saints are just getting toasted. First it was Damgard, and now it's of LA, so the Saints have no answer.
Yeah, these FUMA wide receivers are just too good off the line. I mean, I think the Saints defensive backs and safeties get caught sleeping, and they just get burned.
They got tight ends. They got tight ends, right?
So Fuma's going to hand it off to Hampton. He's going to bounce it out right. Tries to switch it here, but Matt Grant's there initially for the Saints. Brought down around the 9-yard line.
Saints defense has been particularly good in the red zone, so see if they can stop FUMA here and see if they can go for a field goal or perhaps a turnover on downs.
Heavy set for Fuma here. Brickhouse and White in at tight end. And it's intended for, couldn't tell, but it's picked off by Matt Grant.
He finally gets an interception of the day. That was a great play by Grant, as he read that coverage perfectly. The Saints offense is back on the field after the Matt Grant interception in the end zone to save the Saints from maybe a FUMA touchdown or a field goal, as the score is still 13-7 Fork Union. As Reed Terry was the intended receiver, as he caught it, then he bobbled it and lost it. So that would be an incomplete pass, bring up 2nd and 10 for the Saints.
So Farrell will hand it off to Gavanis. Gavanis gets about 6. 3rd and 4 now. Right back with you when they come back. So Farrell's gonna keep this one now. Nice block from Nigel Green, able to get the first down out of bounds the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Andre Green was wide open on the right side of the field. And if Farrell didn't see him and he rushed left.
Farrell's going to take the snap and roll out right. He's going to air this one downfield to Wallace.
That's got to be PI.
And 2 flags come in. Going to be pass interference on Grant Chevrier. He's garnered about 3 penalties thus far, I believe, for FUMA.
He's just such a big target that it's hard for these defensive backs and safeties that are smaller than he is to bring him down.
So Farrell will take the snap, throws quickly to the sideline to Tazwell. Good for about 5.
That's a good quick little play and pass to Tazwell.
On the snap, they give him forward progress. And they will. Give him forward progress to the 38-yard line.
You seemed to marching on the field right now. This looks to be a promising drive for them with about 5 minutes to go in the first half.
So Forrest with a carry. Good for about 4 or 5 there. So 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain from Forrest. Farrell's gonna roll out right. Being pursued, he's gonna have to throw it out of bounds. That was Miles Brickhouse on the pass rush there, and the flag does come in late in the backfield. No. Farrell's gonna roll out left now. He's gonna have to run back right. Farrell needs to get rid of this. Able to shake one tackler. Still with it is O'Farrell.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible run. Eventually get the first down.
What an impressive play by O'Farrell.
What just happened?
Connor Lamb able to help him out on a block, little chip block there, but that's just demonstrating Griffin O'Farrell's unbelievable athleticism. Able to keep the play alive there.
It looked like he was going to be sacked at about midfield.
Looked like Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson, one of them. Here he is again, completing this one to Andre Green for about 5. Pushed out of bounds by Zegby. So 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half here. And the Saints are knocking on Fork Union's door.
Yeah, I think it's really important that the Saints get some points on the board here on this drive so they don't go into halftime down.
This one is handed off the middle to Hendrick. He trucks one, able to stay on his feet inside to the 10-yard line. Nice run from Trent Hendrick. Saints are rolling now.
And that was a great run by Hendrick as the O-line did some nice blocking of its own up front to create a hole for Hendrick. That run was good for about 15.
Looks like it'll be another timeout here, and we'll take a break. So 1st and goal here for the Saints. They'll hand this one off to Hendrick. Brought down around the 5. 3-yard gain from Trent Hendrick. Saints are in no rush to the line here. They want to burn the clock prior to scoring. Don't want to give Fork Union an opportunity to bounce back before the first half ends here.
Yeah, let's see what the Saints do here. Is most likely keep it on the ground to keep the clock running.
Stacked box for FUMA. And Farrell's in a play action here. Throws to Andre Green. Touchdown, Saints. Great play call from Lance Cleland there. FUMA was stacking the box. Saints line up in the I formation. Play action from a Farrell. Pass complete to Andre Green for the touchdown. Tied at 13, pending Jack Seaver's extra point.
That was a great response from the Saints as they didn't let the 13 points from FUMA, bring their confidence down as the Saints could possibly take the lead here.
Kick from Sears is good, so that'll put the Saints up 1 with 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the first half. FUMA does have 1 timeout, so we'll see what they can do here. Could definitely expect the deep ball again to Montego Moss. He's got 2 touchdowns in this first half and probably around 130 yards, I would expect.
Yeah, I feel like the Saints defense is gonna have to play deep as they don't want to let any big plays go Fork Union's way. So I think Avele, Damgard, Council, and Grant are really gonna have to play spot on with these about 2.5 minutes left.
So Sears is out there for the Saints to kick this one away. Back for Fork Union is Montego Moss, as well as Elijah Hawks. Moss will field it at the 2. And unable to shake anybody. Saints are trying to strip him.
Yeah, that was a great kick by Sewers to not let it go in the end zone to make Moss run her back to take time off the clock. Is Moss ran it to about their own 21-yard line as the Saints special teams came up big right there.
So Alex Williams is going to roll out left now, looking for anything. Wrapped up by Teddy Damgard, and Williams got rid of it the last second there. Almost picked off by Hendrick, actually hit Hendrick, and here comes a late flag. Looks like they're going to call intentional grounding on Williams.
Yeah, no one was in that area, so he just tried to get rid of it. And Hendrick actually almost came with that interception.
So that'll push Fork Union back even further now. Teddy Damgard was bringing down Williams in the backfield when he just threw it 3 yards in front of him.
Filer's bringing some pressure.
Williams will throw over the middle, Montego Moss, and it's dropped again. Ball was thrown behind Moss, unable to bring it in, so that'll bring up 3rd and 11 now for FUMA.
Yeah, Moss had a lot of space and
Rather 3rd and 21.
yeah, so this is a big 3rd down conversion for FUMA as the Saints might get it back with a little bit of time left.
Trips out right for FUMA. They're going to air it out downfield. Pass intended for Moss is no good. Avell Aya was there on the coverage. That'll bring up 4th and 21 now for Fork Union. And they'll send on the punt team. Saints have 2 timeouts and a minute and a half remaining in this first half. Could potentially see them putting Seawers in field goal range and maybe more.
As FUMA is punting out of their own end zone, as Nikos Kavanis is back deep to receive this punt on about FUMA's 45-yard line.
Punt lands around the 37, rolls out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So Saints have great field position, a minute and a half remaining with 2 timeouts. Let's see what they can do with it.
I have a feeling they're going to put in Williamson, or no, they're going to put in O'Farrell for this drive. As let's see what O'Farrell can do with his arm and his legs right here. With a minute and 30 to work.
Flag comes in now.
I think there might be a little bit of jump on Brian Bell.
False start on the Saints will push them back into their 5. Terrible penalty to get in this situation.
Yeah, I think I saw Brian Bell there jump a little bit.
I believe he was moving his, or adjusting his stance, but it's not allowed regardless. Once you're set, you're set. So 1st and 15 now. Kavanos in the backfield. Oh, Farrell fumbles a snap. It's a low snap. He's going to pick it up and go. That's impressive there from O'Farrell. It's a low snap from Bannister. O'Farrell was able to pick it up and run for about 10.
Yeah, that was a great awareness by O'Farrell. He just, snap was very low and he picked it up. And didn't even look for receivers as he just took off running left side.
Williamson's going to air this one out to Tazwell. Sliding catch from Tazwell. Nice catch there. Down and around the 22.
And that was a low pass from Williamson, but he was on the run, and Tazwell just got underneath it, so that was a great play by the Saints for about a 20-yard gain.
St. Chris will use their first of 2 timeouts. One minute and 12 seconds remaining for the Saints. Currently at the 23-yard line, which would be a 40-yarder. Jack Seawers is definitely capable of knocking that in.
Yeah, he's especially got the wind to his back. So he's practicing over there on the sideline. So it's definitely a possibility.
They'll pitch this one off to Forrest. Forrest is able to get about 6 there. He's 2nd and 4 now for the Saints. Forrest also got out of bounds, which will stop the clock. A veteran move from him there. And this is going to be a pitch from Williamson to O'Farrell, thrown in the back of the end zone. Interesting play there. They had both quarterbacks in. We're yet to see that this season.
Saints have a little trick play up their sleeves. Didn't quite go as the way they planned it.
Williamson to step up and fire it. Nice defense on the play there from Zegby. Pass was intended for Andre Green. And it looks like the Saints are going to attempt a field goal here with 52 seconds remaining in the first half.
Only about a 34-yard field goal.
Sears has plenty of leg on it, and he puts it through. Nice kick there from Jack Sears, lifting St. Christopher's lead to 4. 46.6 seconds remaining in the first half now.
And the Saints have to be happy with that. I mean, I know they wanted a touchdown, but they can't complain with getting 3 points and increasing this lead to 4. You're going to do, what's it called? Interview after the game.
A lot of wind in Fork Union today. Moss is going to field this one at the 1 and able to bring it up to around the 24. A lot of Saints are there. Be up the middle there for FUMA. Looks like Hampton.
Looks like they're just gonna let the clock run.
So that will do it for the first half here in Fork Union. St. Christopher 17, Fork Union 13. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the second half. we are back now for the second half. Jack Sears' kick is through the end zone. Fork Union will start off at the 20. And we'll see what the Saints can answer with. Montego Moss had an impressive first half, 3 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was a problem for the Saints, and really the only one on FUMA that was able to generate any offense. Quick throw there from Williams, intended for Zegbee, is incomplete.
Yeah, Moss was a very big issue for the Saints defense as they just could not find an answer to contain him. So let's see what defensive coordinator Greg Toon and head coach Lance Clellan talked to the Saints defense on how to stop him during halftime.
Off to Hampton. He'll bounce this one outside, eventually brought down by Council at around the 24-yard line.
That was a great move by Hampton as he looked like he was going inside, but he came back out to the left. He fooled Sullivan for an extra 3 to 4 yards on that play.
Williams rolls out left. Pass intended for Moss is too low. And looks like Moss might have just jammed his finger. He's grabbing it. Looks to be okay, but it'll be interesting how that plays out. He's letting his right arm dangle now. Looks like it's dead. He might have landed on his shoulder or potentially his finger. But it should be interesting to see how that affects his catching ability in the second half.
Be a huge loss for Fork Union. He's been their star player today.
So Moss fumbles the snap. Could have been his injury, but he's going to pick it up and run now. And he's able to get the first down. Unreal. A fumbled snap from Montego Moss, potentially due to that injury. He picks it up and runs for about 30.
That guy's just unbelievable.
And a great block there as well from, I believe, one of the gunners. And I believe it is a shoulder injury for Montego Moss. See the athletic trainer with him now. And she's pulling on his arm, which usually exemplifies a shoulder injury.
That was a great play by Moore and Sullivan to stop Hampton for about a 5-yard loss. As Moore has been pretty silent today. It looks like he is breaking that silence in the second half.
This one is going to play out right now. Nice spin move there from Elijah Hawks. Brought down around midfield.
And he fooled Jeff Moore on that. As Moore went one way and Hawks went the other.
Looks like FUMA is going to call a timeout here. And we'll take a break while they talk it over. So trips out left. Alex Williamson aired out to Montego Moss, and it's broken up by Damgard, almost hauled in by Damgard. Great effort from Teddy Damgard there defending Montego Moss.
Yeah, that was a great coverage by Damgard, as he would not let Moss get a hold of that football. He would not let Moss score another touchdown on him. Now bring up 4th and 5 for FUMA.
George Hoshin comes in at defensive end. Great special teamer is Hodgson. Unable to get back there on that one, but does have a history of making it back to the punter. And that one is downed the 10-yard line. A great punt from Montego Moss there. Been pinning the Saints deep all day.
So the Saints are going to have the ball back deep in their own territory with 9:25 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Saints still holding a 4-point lead, 17-13. Let's see if they can get a few more points here on the board on this drive.
Farrell takes the snap, throws out quickly to Nigel Green on the left side. He's brought down around the line of scrimmage. FUMA's changing around their defense, and Saints will take advantage and snap it. Ball is completed over the middle to Nigel Green. Great block from Will Taswell. Nigel Green could go the distance here. He's caught by Elijah Hawks. Great block from Will Taswell there. FUMA was cycling around on their D line. Saints take advantage of it. Big gain there from Nigel Green.
Yeah, Nigel's just, he knows good coverage, except Nigel's, I mean, there were 2 men in his area and couldn't quite get to the ball as fast as he could. And then Taswell had a great block to delay the blocker from tackling Green.
Quick throw out right to Andre Green. Good for about 3. Brought down around the 21-yard line. Tackle made by Grant Chevrier. Pass intended for Nigel Green is broken up.
Yeah, the Saints love that fade to Green. I mean, he almost had that catch. That was just out of his hands. I mean, that was a great toss by Farrell, but Green just couldn't come down with it.
So 3rd and 7 now. They're headed off to Hendrick with the middle. He's able to get the first down and then some. Hendrick bounces off defenders into the end zone. Touchdown from running back Trent Hendrick. That'll put the Saints up by 10 now.
Yeah, Hendrick just kept turning his legs. I mean, he had about 4 FUMA defenders on him, and they just could not seem to bring him down, and just kept running until it was in the end zone.
So flag comes in before the play. I believe it's 12 men on the field for Fork Union. Saints are going to decline that penalty as they actually want to be back as far as possible on the PAT. It helps kickers to be back further so they don't have to chip it as much. Series knocks through the uprights, and Saints will be up 11 now, 24-13 over Fork Union. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shallow kick from Sewers. It's fielded at the 2 by Moss. He's going to bounce this one out to the left and brought down around the 30.
That was about a 28-yard return for Moss, as the Saints defense will now come out on the field and try and get another stop.
Hampton's run is good for about 6. 2nd and 4 now for Fork Union.
Hodgson is now in for Hendricks, as Hodgson will be a pass rusher for the Saints, as that D-line is very talented right now.
Alex Williams is going to air this one out deep. Tries for Montego Moss, but it's broken up. Mina of LA on the coverage. Brooks Council had safety help over the top. The Saints might be in cover 1 now.
Yeah, I don't think what they were doing in the first half with the secondary wasn't really working with Moss, so I think they had to switch it up coming out of halftime for the third quarter.
Williams steps up in the pocket. He's going to keep this one, and brought down by Cavanas. And then a late flag comes in. It's going to be a late hit on the Saints. Saints would have had him in a good position, but careless penalty here. Be 15 yards for Fork Union.
Yeah, Moore just wasn't thinking on that play as he came in a little late, as Cavanas already had him down. And the Saints are going to bring the blitz.
This is Hampton at the middle now. Good for about 8. Brooks Council was there initially for the Saints. And the Saints are a bit at 11 here because Fork Union is able to generate pretty good run game, so they can't drop 2 safeties, but Conversely, if they do not drop safeties, then Montego Moss is burning them over the top. So here's Hampton again. Jeff Moore is back there initially, but Hampton's able to bounce off of it and just actually loses more yards.
Looks like Moore hurt his left hand on that play.
Good job, Teddy. Good job, Teddy.
Jeff Moore shot the A-gap there and blew up that play. Big loss for Hampton, who's now hurt.
That's good, that's good. That's good.
So we'll take a break as they check on Vjon Hampton. So 3rd and 10 now. Williams drops back. Looking deep for Moss. Has Avalia beat, but Avalia is able to recover, and looks like that was Brooks Council on the interception. Montego Moss had me and Avalia burned. Had to step on him for sure, but underthrown, and safety help from Brooks Council comes over to intercept the pass.
Yeah, Brooks, before the play started, was originally on the wrong side of the field, so he had to hustle back and help Avalia with the coverage on Moss, and he got there just in time to get that pick.
This one is handed off the middle to Hayden Forrest. Good for 9. Saints are going to hurry it up here. I formation. Handed off to Forrest again. He bounces one out left. Able to get about 4 or 5. Good enough for the Saints' first down.
FUMA's really getting caught up with this hurry-up offense. I mean, they're not seeming to get situated fast enough.
Cavanas up the middle. Able to bounce off a couple of defenders. Good for around 10 yards. See what they give him the spot. Looks like they'll mark it just short of the first down. Nope, they'll give him the first down. They'll move the chains. So again, they'll hand it off to Cavanas at the middle. And he'll break this one loose. Cavanas is going to absolutely score here. 50-yard run from Nikos Cavanas up the middle. But looks like there is a flag down. And I believe it's going to be on Brian Bell for holding. So the Saints were running a hurry-up offense there in the I formation. And Cavanas was able to break one loose for about 60 yards. But flag was down in the play. I believe it was on Brian Bell for holding. And there's a player down in the field. Looks like he's cramping. We'll take a break to check on him. So Nigel Green had Elijah Hawks burned there, but underthrown by O'Farrell.
Yeah, Saints are doing really well on the deep plays that they have, but some of the passes just haven't been there.
So 2nd and 15 now. Saints hand this one to Kavanis in the middle, but he's stuffed.
And a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be face mask on FUMA.
Hands off the middle to Kavanis. Able to get 8 there.
4, 5.
They'll hurry up again in the I formation. Hand off again to Kavanis. He spin moves, but he's met immediately by Xavier White. And then Brian Bell just got assaulted on the field. That's in a draw penalty. That was Miles Brickhouse with the personal foul on Brian Bell.
He just stood over Brian Bell for no apparent reason.
Well, he hit him as well.
Knocked him to the ground. That's going to cause FUMA some major yardage as the Saints now on FUMA's 38-yard line.
So they'll pitch this one out to a Forrest, but it's going to call a false start on the Saints. So a plethora of penalties in the last 2 minutes here. Neither team able to get anything right.
Yeah, penalties have been hitting each team pretty hard, as both teams just can't seem to get the rules right.
Pass intended for Nigel Green is incomplete. Second and about 15 now for the Saints.
Sullivan is now in at fullback.
Reverse pitch here to Forrest. He's going to
Sullivan.
break this one loose. Big gain there for Hayden Forrest. Good enough for the first down. Tricky play calling. Forrest started to run right, cut back left on a bit of a counter pitch. Interesting play call, good for about 20 yards there.
Yeah, great blocking by Sullivan as he picked up a man and created a hole for Forrest to get through.
It's actually a forward pass for Hayden Forrest, so had he fumbled the handoff there, it would have been an incomplete pass. And yet another false start on the Saints here. Just can't get on the same cadence.
Yeah, Saints are really shooting themselves in the foot with these false start penalties. I mean, they just can't seem to get situated, and communication just isn't there.
Fails in a rollout right.
He's got
A lot of
great
room to run
grasp.
here. Blocked by Tazwell. Able to get out to the 5-yard line.
It looks like it's going to be holding on Tazwell maybe. As there's a
And
flag
yet another
down.
flag. This is just getting unreal. Looked like a great block from Tazwell. Had him right by the shoulders frame of the shoulder pads there. So that's going to bring that run back a few yards. It's a spot foul, so Saints do get a few yards there, but so timeout here. We'll take a break as they talk it over.
Yeah, no gain, excuse me, about 2-yard gain.
Fails on a throw intended for Nigel Green. It's picked off by Elijah Hawks. He's going to run this one back. Still going at the 45. And Hayden Forrest is there to bring him down. Brutal tackle by Hayden Forrest. Just slammed Elijah Hawks to the ground.
Yeah, and the FUMA coaches are furious. There's not a pass.
But no flag thrown on that one. So it was a slant route. Pass was intended for Nigel Green, thrown behind him and picked off by Hawks. Ran back to the 47-yard line, putting FUMA in great position here to score for the first time in this second half. Handoff up the middle to Hampton. Brought down from behind by Cole McCoy, and yet another flag. This is getting ridiculous. And FUMA does not have lights, so should the same consistency with the flags continue, this game will not finish on time.
They might have to come back here tomorrow.
So two-back set for FUMA, and no gain on the play there. Jeff Moore brings down Hampton pretty quick, and yet another flag comes in.
That was Teddy Damgard who gave Moss a little shove. I don't even know that song.
So 50 seconds remaining now. FUMA on the St. Chris 29. Quick pass out right to Hawks. And a nice tackle there. Can't tell who it was. Looks like it was Cole McCoy. Now in defensive back.
His Hawk was upset they put the whistle because he didn't think he was down. But probably wouldn't have gotten that much yardage anyway after catch.
So 23 seconds now. Third quarter. FUMA's gonna have to run a play because the play clock is. Sure, they won't. They're gonna looks like they're gonna let the game clock run out into the. Fourth quarter here. So at the end of the fourth, here's St. Christopher Saints 24, FUMA 13. We'll take a break as we transition to the fourth quarter. Williams drops back. He's going to step up in the pocket here and brought down from behind. Joe Sullivan and Trent Hendrick there on the tackle.
Hendrick looks to be shaken up.
Yeah, Trent's limping. He's going to get a sub here. Looks like George Hodgson will be spelling Hendrick. He's a great special teamer. High motor guy. A lot of energy from George Hodgson. Williams drops back. He's going to loft this one out deep to Moss. And it's picked off by Matt Grant at the 1 yard line.
Second interception of the day for Grant. He came top of valet out on Moss, and Williams just can't seem to figure out that Grant's going to shift over, and that's the second time he's done that today.
Fork Union really has one play that's worked thus far, and that's been the deep ball to Moss. But Saints have made adjustments at halftime, and Moss has yet to have a catch in the second half.
Yeah, I think the Saints really figured out how to contain Moss. They've done a spectacular job here in the second half. As first half, he had 2 touchdowns and was just unstoppable. But now the secondary seems to have figured out what to do.
So the Saints are deep in their own territory. Williamson takes a snap, hands it off to Nigos. Cavanos at the middle. Cavanos has a lot of room to go here. And eventually tripped up around the 27-yard line by Grant Chevrier, who is limping now. But gaping hole there for Cavanos, able to get a gain of about 25.
And Cavanos has just been very, very dominant the second half. O-line has created holes for him, and he's taking advantage of every single one.
Williamson drops back, quick throw out right to Andre Green. He bounces off 2 tackles. Still going is Andre Green. Stays in bounds. Andre Green is going to go the distance here. Touchdown Saints. So what was originally a 3-yard screen to Andre Green ended up being a 60-yard, 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Green.
71 yards for Andre Green.
Yeah, originally thought he was going to go down about that 3-yard pass, but stayed on his feet, and then green grass ahead of them for 60 yards.
Extra point from Seaward is no good. Went very low to the left. But Saints are up 17 with 10.5 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Okay. Seawers kicks this one away. Moss is going to field this one now. able to break a couple tackles. 2 flags come in. Going to be a holding penalty on FUMA.
As Gray Broadus is having a little scuffle.
Wow. So Gray Broadus just got tackled from behind. Late hit there by Austin Fogg. Not sure how there's not a penalty on that one, because I'm 100% confident that had that been St. Christopher's, there would have been a personal foul, and it would have been 15 yards in their direction. Perhaps seeing a bit of a bias from the referees today in terms of when they choose not to throw a flag or not, because that was as blatant as it gets.
FUMA is now going to back up 5 yards from, 10 yards from the end of the play.
Really doesn't make any sense how Teddy Damgard can throw a quick shove in a double altercation, but Austin Fogg just tackled Gray Broadus to the ground 20 yards from the play, and there's no flag on that one. That's puzzling, to say the least. So Williams will drop back. He's going to throw deep now over the middle, but it's bobbled and incomplete. Great hit there from Hayden Forrest. Pass intended for Zegby was broken up, and he's banged up. Matt Grant was there on coverage, and then Hayden Forrest came over the top as Zegby was bobbling it. Breaks it up. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now from their own 3.
Yeah, that was a great play by Forrest.
Excuse me, from their own 7.
To help Grant and then just bulldoze the receiver to make sure he doesn't reel on that pass.
Williams will throw over the middle of the Moss, complete to Moss. Go for the first down. Brought down by Velea. Moss ran a slant route there. Good for around 12 yards. To the the FUMA 24.
There's about 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. FUMA 1st and 10 on their own 24-yard line.
This is Zegby on the sweep here. And another flag comes in. Can't imagine what this one would be.
I mean, there's really been a flag on like every single play.
Going to be a holding call on Fork Union. We'll back them up a few. Holding penalty is on Dominic Julius. Saints decline the penalty, however. And pass is batted by Trent Hendrick and intercepted. Trent Hendrick just swatted the ball out of the air and picks it off and returns it. Great play there from Trent Hendrick. Does it all there. Pass breakup, interception, and touchdown. Saints up 23 now, pending the extra point from Jack Sears.
Hendrick and Cavanis now have 2 touchdowns each, 1 on offense and 1 on defense. As they're both just getting it done here at Fork Union.
You could hear the swat from here. Hendrick got 100% of that ball with both hands.
And that was great. Great play to follow the ball and catch it and run into the end zone. I mean, you just don't see very many plays like that.
Sears' extra point is good. Saints up 24 now. Seaver's kick is out of the end zone for a touchback. High snap for Williams. He's going to run back and try to retrieve this one, and brought down in the end zone by Hendrick. That's going to be a safety, so back-to-back defensive scores from Trent Hendrick. Snap went over Williams' head. Not much he can do about that one. Had to run back and just jump on it.
Yeah, everything is going the Saints' way right now as FUMA's just had a bit of unfortunate events.
So that'll increase the Saints' lead to 26, and we'll put them in possession of the football so they can hopefully run the clock a little bit, ground and pound with Forrest, Cavanas, and Hendrick. So Moss is on for Fork Union to punt this one away. Andre Green lets it bounce, and then looks like it was George Hodgson that had to cover it up. At the 40-yard line, so that's where the Saints will take over.
Yeah, Saints have just been very dominant this second half, scoring 25 points, and they've really done it all on defense and on offense, as Trent Hendrick has been huge this fourth quarter for the Saints. He's had a rushing touchdown, a pick six, a safety, and a couple great runs as well, so he has definitely been the MVP of this game.
This is O'Farrell now. He'll hand it off to the scout team running back, Evan Thompson. So expect the Saints to be taking their time in between plays here, trying to run the play clock down, burn as much clock as they can. Reed Terry is out wide. Unusual to see him at wide out. Trips out left for the Saints. And a lot of space far side there. Can't tell who that is, but Saints are going to hand it off to Thompson. Good for about 4 there. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Evan Thompson is a good backup running back to have. He's very versatile in those tight spaces. So the Saints are going to be lucky to have him back next year.
Farrell's in a play action here. Throws it out right to Reed Terry, but out of the hands of Terry. Would have been good for the first down, but unable to convert. That's going to bring up a fourth down. The Saints are going to go for it. They're in fourth down territory. Want to keep the chains moving and the clock running here. So they're going to speed option out to Evan Thompson. Good for the first down. I formation for the Saints. They'll hand it off to Evan again. Thompson's run is good for about 4.
Yeah, Saints are just trying to take as much time off the clock as they can with these run plays. About 6:35 to go in the fourth quarter.
Evan Thompson is met
That was
by
a hard hit.
Yeah, Grant Chevrier. We've seen him all day. Listed at 5'5", but definitely brings the boom from time to time, along with a penalty. So 3rd and about 6 now. Most likely going to be a passing down for the Saints here. So 2 receivers out right for the Saints. Farrell's going to be caught in the backfield for a sack. So Saints had 2 wide receivers out right that weren't even covered at the beginning of the play. Definitely would have thought they would have been doing a quick throw out right. Would have had a blocker along them as well.
John Jordan was open on the left side of the field as no one was covering. The coverage came late, and the Saints still could not get anything going on that play as they were forced to punt.
Nice punt from Sewers here. Gonna roll at the half-yard line. Incredible punt from Jack Sewers.
That is ridiculous.
It's about 60-some yards. Rolls out of bounds at the half-yard line. That's as good as it gets. It bounced at the 20 and just had a very lucky hop to. Oh, wow, they're going to call it a touchback.
Oh, come on.
The ref originally waved it down at the 1. The head umpire's going to overrule that.
No, I'm just running. Question for Harrison in case Lewis makes us do a question for Harrison. Yeah, I know.
Williams takes a snap. Hodgson was held from behind, but no call there. And brought down from behind by Cole McCoy. Cole McCoy's had a great day today. He's not usually leading tackler for the Saints, but I think today he might be leading the team in tackles.
Yeah, at the end of the third quarter, he was leading the team with 3 tackles unassisted and 1 assisted and 1 for a loss. So he was doing it all on the defensive side of the ball.
And there goes Montego Moss again, burning the Saints deep. That was Matt Grant and Mina Vilhea. They had double coverage on Moss, but able to haul in another bomb.
Yeah, Moss is just too talented. I mean, he can go up and get the ball with 2 defenders on him, and nothing's going to stop him. So it's very hard to cover Moss. I think it's delay of game.
So the play clock was at 0 for about a good 5 or 6 seconds there. Refs completely missed that, and it results in a Fork Union touchdown.
As Hayden Forrest thought that should be a delay of game, and he wasn't ready, and it just went right over his head to the receiver.
Yeah, Elijah Hawk's able to get that one. So consistent with the trend of poor refereeing today, that one was inexcusable. Play clock was absolutely at 0 for about a good 5 or 6 seconds. So poor refereeing all around today. Plethora of flags and a couple easy missed calls that would have resulted in scores or prevented scores. So Fork Union's going to go for 2 here. Fumbled snap. Williams tries to get rid of it to Hampton. Matt Grant is out there, and Mina Vilhea was there on the tackle right at the goal line. Met him at the 1 yard line, but they're going to call it
There's also a flag
conversion.
down.
And to no surprise of anyone that's been watching, there's a flag down. It appeared as though Hampton was out of bounds. He was carrying it in his right hand, and
I think his body crossed the goal line, but the ball didn't.
correct. I'm not sure how the ref misses that one. He was right at the goal line, about a foot from Hampton and Vilhea's collision. So we'll see what the penalty is here. So I'm not sure what the penalty was, but it's going to move Fork Union back about 20 yards for the 2-point try. Williams is going to step up in the pocket here. Hit as he throws, but pass is complete to Elijah Hawks, but just short. Matt Grant was there on the coverage.
Still a 20-point game. The Saints lead 39-19. About 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Hey, it's going this way. Kicking it at us. No roll page over here. Coming right at Caswell. Kicker one's offside. What the? Nice, man.
The outside kick there had a little too much oomph on it. Sailed out of bounds.
So 3 minutes remaining in the game here. Out trots Gil Williamson and Evan Thompson. And there goes a jump from FUMA. Should be a neutral zone infraction.
Should be on FUMA. Looked like to me it was on FUMA. And it is.
Be a neutral zone infraction on number 75, Abram Ulrich. Hand this one off to Thompson. Good for the first down. Keep the clock running.
Saints just really outplayed FUMA the second half. It was a ball game the first 2 quarters, but then Saints just took off. I mean, their defense was stout with Trent Hendrick doing all that he did. He was just unbelievable today.
Nice blocking there from the Saints offensive line. Joe Sullivan came over for a crackback on Marcus Billingsley.
The Saints offensive line has done a really good job today of protecting the quarterbacks and opening running lanes for the running backs. The running game today was superb with Hendrick, Thompson, Forrest, and Cavanis in the backfield. As Boykin and Horsley went out, coming in for Bannister and Bell.
So play clock is at 3, 2, 1. And Saints get the snap off, but Williamson just has to pick it up and go down there. And I believe FUMA just called a timeout, which is just, there's no reason for that. You're down by 20. Mathematically, it's impossible to win. There's a minute 18 remaining, and they just called a timeout. So we'll take a break. Not sure what they're talking about, but we'll be back when they're done. So another neutral zone infraction on FUMA. It'll be a first down for the Saints. Minute 18 remaining. Williamson will pitch this to Thompson. He fumbles it. Has to fall on it. And you got to be kidding me. I don't understand what they're doing. It's mathematically, you cannot win this game. It is impossible to win when you're down by 20 with only 70 seconds remaining in the game. So I'm not sure if it's for pride purposes, if they're trying to score again. It doesn't make any sense. If you're down by 20, there's absolutely no reason to be stopping the clock. And I'd hope that St. Chris would stick it to FUMA and get a first down here and end the game, because they only have one timeout left. So they hand it off to Thompson at the middle. He'll be able to get a nice push from the offensive line. Good for about 4. Thrown down late there. No penalty. And the clock will run. We're expecting a timeout from FUMA's coach. And looks like he's not going to call one, which... Not sure why you'd call one
Anyway.
2 minutes ago and then not call one with the same trend. So clock is dwindling down here at Fork Union. Williamson's going to take the snap and throw it right, and then it's going to stop the clock. So
Right?
13 seconds remaining.
Just leave, bro. Just leave, bro. Just leave. Isn't it fourth down? Because the pitch to Evan and then that. No, because there was a foul. Yeah, that was for the pitch to Evan. Good work, boys.
So Saints will hand it off to Thompson. He'll bounce it outside. Hopefully stays in bounds.
And he does.
That should run the clock out now. So that'll do it for us here at Fork Union. Your St. Christopher Saints 39, Fork Union 19. Thanks for joining us.